Today we're going to look at arrays and objects. So first we're going to start by creating a person class. This is going to represent a person. The person class will have one class variable called name. And it'll have a set and get method for this variable. So the point of set and get variables is so that you cannot directly access the variable itself. So, when the variable is public, it's available to all classes outside of itself. It's available everywhere outside of the classes contained within. As we can see, it pops up here, and we can directly assign it a value. This is considered bad programming practice. So the idea is to get around this. The idea to get around this is to make the variable private. And as soon as that happens, we get an error. We cannot directly access it now. So we use set and get methods to retrieve the value of the variable or update the value of the variable. These methods are public. GetName will have a return type of string, as it is the same return type of the variable, and will accept no arguments. Then, we simply return the variable. Our set method will not return any data, so we enter void. And it will accept one argument from the outside world. We don't know what this will be. We won't know what this is until we actually receive it. It could be Brad, it could be Adam, it could be Jake, it could be anything. So, this is the new argument coming in. Whatever the value of this is, whether it's any of these three, has to be assigned to the class variable. Oftentimes in set methods, you'll see the this keyword. This tells the computer which one is the class variable and which one is the argument. Without the this keyword, assuming that the variable has the same name as the argument, the computer won't know which order this goes in. The computer doesn't know if this is the argument coming in or if it's the class variable. And the same goes for the other side of the assignment. It could be assigning it to itself in terms of the argument. It could be assigning the variable to itself and not have anything to do with the argument. Or it could assign them in the proper order or the reverse order. So this keyword is used to specify the class variable. This means this class. This variable of this class. There's another way to get around this too. This is a practice I like to follow. So when we have a new value coming in, we're obviously going to update the variable. So you can just call it something like this. New name. We don't know what it represents yet, but we know it's new. And then down here you could simply say Because the argument name and the class variable are now uniquely identified and named differently, we don't need to use that special keyword this. However, it is a good practice to put it in anyway for your set methods. So this is our person class. Let's test to see if it works. In this line, we're setting the name to Brad. We're updating the value of the name variable through the setName method. Then, for that person object, we're using the getName method to have the value of the variable returned to us. Let's create another class called Toilet. This class will have one variable. This variable random person will be of data type person. Instead of being a string or an integer, we can actually use a class type as a data type, or use a class as a data type. So Toilet will now officially hold one person in a variable named random person. Let's write up some set and get methods for this. The data type coming into this argument, we're going to pass a person object in. So it will be of data type person. Then we're going to update the variable of the Toilet class. And the get method will return a person object and will receive no arguments. Let's test this out to see if it works. So, on the main screen, we have a person created called person1, and this is of type person class. So this is one example, one instance, independent, unique example of the person class. This is called an object. An object is an independent, standalone, unique example or existence or instance of a class. So within this person1 variable is all of this code. All of this code is within person1. Now we need a toilet object. Specify the data type, the name, user equals, and then the new keyword because we're creating an object, and the object will be based on the toilet class. Remember, in our toilet class, we have a variable, and the variable is of a person object. It is of data type person. And we also have set and get methods. Let's try to pass person1 into Golden Toilet using Golden Toilet's setPerson method. This is good. When you don't see any error messages or exceptions popping up in your console window, that's really good news. It means everything is working. We're going to create an additional method for the toilet class called isOccupied. IsOccupied will have a return type of Boolean. It's going to come back true or false, and there will be no arguments. The idea of the isOccupied method is to check whether there is a value in random person or not. If random person really does have a person value or object assigned to it, we'll return true. If it doesn't, we'll return false. Does this make sense? When isOccupied is called, it's going to check the random person variable to see if it is null. That's this one here. If it is null, isOccupied is going to return false. However, if it is not null, if there is a person object stored in random person variable, isOccupied will return true. Let's test this out. So, on line 8, we have our Golden Toilet object, and then we're calling the setPerson method of it, and then we're passing in person1. So person1 will be assigned to this variable. So what happens is, moving from the inside out, person1 is our argument. This is an argument into the setPerson method. So, whatever the value of person1 is, in this case person1 is of type person, it's of the person class, we go into the setPerson method of the toilet, and we're bringing person1 with us. So here we are in toilet, and here's the setPerson method. This is where person1 is entering the function, or the method. Then, person1 is being assigned to the random person variable. This here is now equal to person1. Then, when we call the isOccupied method, it will check the random person variable. which is now set to person 1. If it is equal to null, which it isn't, it'll jump over. Then it's going to return true. This confirms that there is a person on the toilet. So we're going to run a print statement, and then we're going to call the isOccupied method of the toilet, of golden toilet. When you create a class or an object, it's no different than creating a variable. You can pass objects around as arguments between methods as simple as an array or a variable. Let's take this a step further. We're going to create a new class called bathroom. The idea of the bathroom class is to keep track of an array of toilets. The data type is toilet. We use square brackets because there will be more than one value. And that's it. We will need set and get methods for this array. Let's recap. So here we have our person class. The person class has one variable called name, and that is a string variable. And then we have set and get methods to retrieve or assign a value to this variable. Remember, we're not directly accessing it. Then we have our toilet class. This also has one variable. However, this is of type person. We also have set and get methods for this. And then we have an isOccupied method to check whether or not the random person variable is null. And now we have our bathroom class. The bathroom class holds an array of toilets called toilet array. It's the same thing as the toilet class holding one person, except we have more than one value. We also have set and get methods for this as well. We're going to create a new method to check. We're going to create a new method to call the isOccupied method of every toilet. It sounds a little confusing. So let's go back to the main code to see what this looks like. So we have one person and we have one toilet. So we have two objects. We have two person objects named Andre and Evan. And then we have three toilet objects named Golden Toilet, Silver Toilet, and Platinum Toilet. Now we're going to assign two of these objects, two of these person objects, to two of these toilet objects. Still with me? In each toilet, Golden Toilet and Silver Toilet, we're passing in Andre and Evan respectively, which are person objects. We are passing person objects as arguments into the setPerson method of the toilet class. In the toilet, person comes in right here. Then they're right here and get assigned to the variable, the class variable, random person in toilet. Now, in order for the bathroom class to work, it needs an array of toilets. So we can do something like this. It is of type bathroom. It's going to be called the mall bathroom. So here we're just creating an object of the bathroom. We need our own living, breathing, unique, standalone example of the bathroom class. But we also need an array of toilets to put in the bathroom. So we use our data type. It's going to be an array of the toilet class, or an array of toilet objects. We use the square brackets to specify that there's more than one value. And then enclose our values in curly braces. Does this make sense? Let's put our toilet array into the new bathroom. And here it accepts an array. We can see it pop up in a little message here. It is of type toilet. It's an array because there are square brackets. And then the reference name once it arrives into the method, the set method. So now we are passing this here into the set toilet method of the bathroom class. Right here, three of our toilets, silver, gold, and platinum, enter the function or the method. Then they are assigned to the toilet array variable. In our bathroom class, we're going to have a method that will check the occupancy of every toilet. So for this, we're going to need to use a loop to loop through the toilet array. Here we're using our for each loop. So what we're saying is for each occurrence of toilet, for each occurrence of this data type in this array, do something, or loop. Each occurrence of toilet will be represented by toilet in all lowercase. So this is one toilet, this is the second toilet, and this is the third toilet. And as it loops through, these will be referenced using our loop counter, which is this right here. We need a numerical value to keep track of how many toilets are occupied. Now, in our toilet class, we have a method called isOccupied. And this checks to see whether or not a person is null or assigned. So as we loop through our toilets in our array, one by one, we will run this check. Remember, in this case, toilet in lowercase is our value selector. So it's going to select golden toilet, then silver toilet, then platinum toilet. Then once we're done with the loop, we need to return the count. Back into the main program. Let's try out this method. Let's rename it so it's less confusing. Count to occupancy. Let's review really quick. We created 2-person objects. Then we created 3 toilet objects. Then for 2 of those toilet objects, we called the setPerson method and passed in the person objects. Then we created an array to store toilet objects. Then we created a bathroom object. In this bathroom object, we sent in our toilet array so it will be saved to the bathroom, or will be saved to the array variable within bathroom. Now, we're using that bathroom once more, and we're calling the count occupancy method. So here's what's going to happen. The first thing it's going to do is it's going to look at the count occupancy method of the bathroom. So let's jump over there. Here we are in count occupancy. This bathroom has already had these 3 toilets assigned to it. These were already passed in. It's going to look at each value or each occurrence of a toilet object throughout the length of the array. For that object, for each occurrence of an object, it's going to call isOccupied. isOccupied is going to check its own variable to see whether it holds a value or not. If this comes back and says there is a value held within that variable, our counter will increment by 1. Once it's done going through every occurrence throughout the array, it will return the total count. and that's what's printed in line 21. So, we have one toilet, and we assigned one person object to it, and another toilet object, and we assigned another person object to it. So, we have 3 toilets, and 2 have people assigned to it. We're taking all 3 toilet objects, even though 2 only have people assigned to it, and we're putting it into our toilet array. Then, this toilet array is assigned to a new bathroom object. Then we're calling that bathroom object, and then the count occupancy method we just reviewed. Let's modify this. What do you think will happen if we removed silver toilet from the toilet array list, argument list? So now we have golden toilet and platinum toilet in our array. Well, only one of these toilets has a person assigned to it, and that's golden toilet. Platinum toilet does not have anyone assigned to it.